Hey, what's up guys, Chris here, and in today's video I'm gonna go through the entire process of getting a brand new SSG96 MKII and taking it to the field. Now let's go straight to the store. Let's also use this as a test and see if the shop staff can give me the right recommendation. Check up, how are you doing? I need a 96.
I would get the Mark II.
The one up there?
Yeah.
Why?
More precise, new easy hopper, foldable stock, all the good things you need.
Okay, I take one of these. Here we have the Mark II scope. That's gonna do the trick. Let's get a kill flash as well. BBs, the heaviest ones. Here, 46 bio. Alright,
here we go.
Magazine. Mag pouch is where?
Down here.
That's not the one. Perfect. Hello. This is gonna work perfect and it's gonna be closed and full seal. That's important because the dirt won't get onto the BB. Thank you so much, Jacob. Symbolic payment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jacob. See ya. Alright, let's get into it. You will get the 96 actually in two pieces. That is for shipping reasons. So you're gonna get it just like that. So you will have to assemble it, but it's super straightforward, super easy. So let me just show you real quick. Barrel cleaning rod, very important for sniper rifles. Nothing else left. You will have an Allen key included in this bag. Just take it out and that's your tool for assembly. When you look at the upper, barrel receiver assembly, you will see three connection spots. It's this one right here where a screw will go in, then here in the front of the receiver. And this bipod start also doubles as a connection of pulling the barrel into the stock. And there is no auto barrel wobble. Just unscrew here. Bit of a long screw. There we go. And now this goes into that. Just wiggle and wobble it a bit so that everything falls into place. And there we go. Now turn it around. Take your Allen key. Again, that's included. And just turn that screw a couple times. Tighten it. Don't go crazy on screws in general in Airsoft. You don't wanna go to the short part and now torque it as hard as you can. Don't do that. Just like that. That's enough. Same for the back. And you tighten it. Not too tight, just enough. And that's it. The first adjustment that I will do is the length to pull of this SSG96 MKII. For this, I basically just make a 90-degree angle on my arm. And I want that, I can touch my biceps here, but there shouldn't be too big of a gap. If the distance is right, like on this one, it's very natural. Now, if you're a very tall guy, I suggest you to get an additional spacer pad when you're on the shorter side. Then I recommend you to unscrew this plate. You take it off, take off this spacer plate, and you will have to replace the bottom screw for this shorter one that's included. And now you can assemble everything back together. Now let's mount the scope, and here there is a couple things that you want to consider. I'm going for the rifle scope Mark II. It's a good choice. What I'm doing now is I want to find out what is the best position for the scope for my setup. So what I want to do is just bring up my rifle and I want to be able to comfortably get the right distance to my scope to get the full clear image. So that is pretty much perfect for me. And I know that because I know it from previous sniper rifle setups. If you're lying a lot as a sniper and you want to optimize your optic for that, you see how my head is moving away from the scope while I stand up, then consider moving the scope a little bit further to the front. Tighten scopes properly. I see it very, very often that people just use their hands to tighten the scope and that can get loose over time and then you will lose your zero, which can be extremely frustrating. Next, you want to make sure that the crosshair of your scope is perfectly straight and in line with your rifle. And there's multiple ways to do it. One is to run a bubble level on your scope, but I always found that a little cumbersome. And what I do then is while I aim, I just make sure that my vertical crosshair line is exactly parallel to a building. If your crosshair is canted in your scope, you will have your sniper rifle canted and your shot will go to the side. The way I check this is put it like this. You see the crosshair and you make sure that it really is in line with firing pin and the entire rifle. Next, I'm gonna make sure that the 96 is field legal, and at the field that I'm playing, they always measure with the BB that you are actually using. I'm running 0.46 gram BBs. Generally speaking, on the 96, if you're above 2 joules, basically, you want to go as heavy as possible. The way I load the 96 mags is I create basically a blockage on the sides. Your hop-up setting will heavily influence how much power you will have when measuring. I will just now put it to the middle, as this is where I expect it to hop straight. The hop-up should be adjusted in the field one more time to really make sure that it shoots straight. Let's chrono that thing, adjust it to your BB weight. Try to fire a couple. The hop-up needs to wear in basically, and there we go. I'm a little bit too hot right now because I'm gonna play tomorrow in a field that only allows 2.5 joules. So what I'm doing is I change the spring on the rifle. On the Mark II, all you have to do is, unfold the stock, pull down the spring guard stopper here, just insert your finger and you pull down like this, and then you pull out the bolt. You can now take an Allen key or needle nose pliers to get into these holes on the cylinder, and you just unscrew it all the way. Take out the piston, take out the spring, put the new spring in. When you are getting a 96 or actually any sniper rifle at novritsch.com, get the FPS adjuster rings, little stainless steel rings that you can put onto your spring guide. This way you can really get your sniper rifle to the exact field limit. Put it back together, just screw it in with your hand, use the Allen key or needle nose pliers and tighten it all up. When you put it back into the rifle, you will feel a resistance. You will have to press the trigger because that's actually the pistons here. Now you can move it all the way in, flip down the bolt handle, and now push in the spring guard stopper. That's all that's needed. Now let's clean the barrel of this rifle, and this is really crucial. A sniper rifle with a dirty barrel just doesn't shoot as good. I suggest rubbing alcohol. We do include it in the maintenance kit. You could just use a random tissue, or you can use the one that we include in the maintenance kit. This one is just nice to rip, you don't need scissors. I like to fold it one time in the middle. You loop it through your barrel cleaning rod, dip it into the rubbing alcohol. So I just turn this a bit, sprinkle away all the excess rubbing alcohol, and now you just twist it and push it into the barrel. What I like to do here as well is actually racking the bolt back. This will clear your chamber from the nozzle. You can now go all the way through and really clean the entire barrel assembly. If you're struggling to push this rod into the barrel, it means that the tissue patch that you created, it's too big. You repeat this process until your tissue is not dirty anymore. On the second time, I'm not going to use any more rubbing alcohol because it's now distributed in the barrel nicely. Also, rubbing alcohol is a dissolvent, so if there's any oils left, it dissolves and it gets soaked up by the tissue and you. Still some discoloration. Let's do it one more time. And there we go. When you go to the field, bring these barrel cleaning rods, especially if there's a chance that it might rain, because if you get water into your barrel, you're basically done. All right, that's about it. Now let's pack it up for tomorrow's game. For that, obviously fold the stock. And if the profile becomes too wide for you, with the bolt handle here on the side, just for transport, take out the bolt and transport it like so. It's gonna make it a lot slimmer and fit better into most bags. That's a standard AEG gun bag and no problem for packing. Alright, see you tomorrow at the field. Time for the gameplay part of the video. This will give you an idea on how it is to play with the SSG96 Mark II. Right at the beginning of the game, I already appreciate the firing pin, which serves as a cocking indicator. I know the spring in my rifle is already compressed and there will not be any bad surprises on my first contact. It is a windy day, but it's not that big of an issue when using heavy BBs. In my case, it's 0.46 gram BBs and they still fly quite stable. Remember, if you change the power of your rifle, you should always use the heaviest BB the hop-up can lift to get the most accuracy and range. What I like about the SSG96 series in general is that those replicas just feel really solid. I'm not afraid of bumping it around or to treat it a bit more rough than other rifles. I know that it can easily take it, which gives me peace of mind during the game. I very much appreciate the sling mounting options on this rifle. Located on my side, the SSG96 hangs low profile on my body, allowing me to wield my secondary without interfering with any of my movements. The best thing about this rifle is the hop-up adjustment. It's easily accessible and you can adjust it on the go, just with your thumb without looking at it at all. Pulling the bolt is fast and feels smooth. Fast follow-up shots are not an issue. You will appreciate the large bolt handle, especially if you have bigger hands or when you're wearing gloves. As my sidearm, I'm using the SSP5 6-inch variant with 0.4 gram BBs. It is the longest variant, giving me extra power and range. Great for an open field like this.
Nice. All three. Yes.
The SSG96 is one of the larger, heavier rifles in our lineup. If you like a more realistic experience and don't mind a bit of an exercise, it's the perfect choice. However, if you're a younger player or if you want a lighter loadout, the SSG10A1 or A3 might suit you better. That was my game day with the 96, and overall I really enjoyed it. It's a well-shooting gun, it does everything that I expect it to do. There is some differences, however, to the rest of our lineup, which I want to talk about a little bit. Now we're offering multiple sniper rifles, and one thing you have to be aware of these 96s is that they are just more on the heavy side. They're not unplayable, like, you know, I can still easily wield them around, but it's not a featherweight like the SSG10A1. This is more of a real firearms feel to it, and this is something that you need to want, you know. If you say, I want the realism and I want a, you know, really solid feeling gun, then this is definitely for you. If you say, I want the most light thing ever because I want to sprint with this and I'm not the kind of sniper who, you know, stays in the back and shoots from afar, then maybe this is actually not the rifle for you. On the upside, what I really enjoyed, also compared to the SSG10 series, is the ability for the quick spring exchange, because I was actually a little bit too hot on the chronograph. Even though I tested it before the game, I was a bit too optimistic, and because of the final hop-up adjustment, I was just slightly over the power limit. And being able to, you know, just pull out the bolt and to adjust the power to the level that I needed, that was just really, really satisfying. Let's put that back in. There we go. On the hop-up setting, I prefer this a lot over the Mark I version, where I have to, you know, pull out the Allen key, put it in the front and adjust it. It does work and it shoots accurate, the Mark I, but it's just not as convenient as, you know, kind of like on the fly, just slide this open, adjust the hop-up, pull it close and all that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you some insights on this platform, how to prepare it, and, you know, what you can expect from it. See you on the next one.